Where are you from? Maria, isn't it?
It is Maria, Declan. Yes, nice to meet you. I'm in Letterkenny here.
Ah, very good.
Mm-hmm. I am
One of
indeed.
my favourite accents.
Is it? Aye.
Yeah, well, Donegal in general, I don't think I could distinguish between one part and another, but I love Donegal.
Mm. Yeah. I was telling Evelyn there, I was asking her, was she ever up here? And she says she was, but one day. And I said, well, that doesn't really count. There's too much of it. We're like a country of our own up here.
I've done quite a lot of successful gigs up there, and so I think we'll have no problem going up there and playing
for sure. Yeah, for sure, definitely. There's loads of venues. I would be very, very happy to have you up here. I was actually talking to somebody today, Declan, that knows you well, Billy Robinson.
Oh yeah, hello, Billy.
He said to say hello. He produced my 2 albums, so he had. I gave him a ring today to tell him that I'd probably be talking to you the night, and he says, "Oh, I'll make sure and tell him I said hello." And he was talking very highly of you, of course.
Billy is one of the strangest people on the planet.
He certainly is, in a good way, though, Declan.
Oh, in a brilliant way. He's so naturally strange. It's just brilliant.
And his storytelling, like, is just is mad. Like I do be in his studio. I could be on the floor and broke laughing at some of the stories that he tells. But he's good crack. But enough about.
And he walks like a crab. Have you ever noticed that? He doesn't walk straight.
There's not much to him.
No, there's not.
He walks like a crap. Now I'm getting curious.
Oh, Evelyn, you have to meet him. Hey, he's class.
Yeah.
He's
class. He points like this. He points like that.
Oh, I love him. Very, very nice to meet you both, and I'm very, very grateful that you take the time to talk to me, because what I'm doing, I'm only starting off here with Over the West online radio, but it's something a wee bit different. I'm doing it for the emerging artists, or for the lesser known artists in Ireland, and playing them all the time. You know, we have a jukebox that plays 24/7 outside of live shows, and we have 280 emerging artists in the jukebox from all over Ireland, and then every live show that we do, we incorporate in every show artists out of that jukebox. So even if a show is maybe an all 70s show or a rock show, we'll choose artists out of that jukebox and continually just try to, keep them, getting airplay, so that's what we're trying to do. So now,
can I ask? Sorry, I know you're the interviewer, but
I know. Ask away.
How does that work? Is that of necessity less popular than if you did something?
Well, you see, to me, regular artists are getting played all the time, and just as an artist myself, Declan, and trying to get music played on radio stations, and you're sending, when you're not known, and you're sending thousands of emails in each release, you're spending a lot of money getting them done. Then you're sending thousands of emails, and you might never get a reply. Now, I would, up this part of the country, I would be better known than a lot of maybe well more talented people than me, and they're sending their music to radio stations and they're not getting played, and then I'm sending it for them, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a response and they're getting played. So I thought, right, I needed to just do something that would maybe just change the way that, or try to change the way that it's done, because nowadays it's not that you don't need to go to Dublin to record a song. There's people recording really, really top quality stuff everywhere, but we don't have enough radio stations playing it. So that's I'm trying to fix a big problem there.
Well, you're like a politician,
Do you think
I'll remind you of the question I asked you.
Oh. Did I go in a roundabout way there?
See, what I was saying was, does the popularity of your station suffer because of doing that, instead of playing?
Yeah, well, you'd think that, but I actually haven't. I suppose we're still just building it at the moment, and I haven't marketed it out there because I want it to be. I suppose it's never going to be perfect either. I would have unrelenting standards, but I haven't put it out there yet because I have 16 DJs at the moment, not all doing weekly shows, but some monthly, all with the same ethos. But when I do, I think anybody that has listened to it so far are getting hooked on it, because they're saying, do you know what, it's refreshing, because you're hearing an eclectic mix of music all the time, of not like it's not. I'm not naming anybody, that's being played regularly in other stations, but this is music that is equally as good as what's being played on RT and on all these different stations.
Oh, yeah,
but it's just not getting played. Do you know? So because they're not known, and it's so bloody difficult to get in the door anywhere, to get played. So I hope now I'll try not to be the politician. I hope when the day comes and when I get a fortune of money to market it, or I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll do it. It's growing anyway every day. The listenership is growing. I can see in the graph that every day it's growing, and that's without a good marketing plan yet. That it does be received as well, because if I'm building on strong foundations and I'm putting a hell of a lot of work and I'm building it in a way where, there's a lovely there's a website that goes with it that not only is these artists getting, like radio plays, they're also can choose to have like a profile. Then doing these interviews, I'm doing them in a different way where I go and I add them to YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, and just short like 10-minute interviews of that, and then they can share that. And it's just a platform to, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not getting it out real, but it's so far. It is actually, right, our motto is if you create it, we will play it as well, right? But I could name 10 people now that have said they're actually started writing music again because of this, because they know they're going to get played. And like, I know myself, you could release a song and you might think it's great and then it'll flop. You'd be very quickly disheartened, if nobody plays it for you. And as I say, there was too many people that was way more talented than me, was never getting radio play. And they were stopping going, sure, what's the bloody point? Sure, we're not getting anywhere. It's not getting played. And at least this is encouraging people to continue to create as well. So,
but when you say anybody who records, you'll play it, does that mean that there's no discretion involved?
I mean, no discretion in quality?
Yeah.
No, well, it has to be a studio recording, and it has to be, mixed and mastered correctly. But I'm accepting all genres of music. It's not, yeah. But there would be, yes. I wouldn't, but not like phone recordings. We'll say, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it has to be done properly.
You have one huge advantage. I mean, I've always said, if you if you do what everybody else is doing, then you're in competition with everybody else.
Yeah.
If you do something that nobody's doing, you're not.
Yeah, totally. And like the creativity of it is endless. Like, I like to work I'm not in competition with anybody, because it's something different. I'm even going to, like, there's a woman in Bangor that she does a radio station or a radio show there, Shirley Graham. And now I'm in cahoots with her, and I'm going, I want to do a wee 10-minute slot each week with you, and I want you to tell me what's going on over in Bangor, who's making music over there, and I'll share with you. And then that's just kind of creating a wee link there with Donegal and Bangor, or with maybe I'm getting artists from all over the country. But it's fairness is, I want fairness in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a serious lot of lack of fairness.
There's a couple of other stations doing similar things, but not like building a website around it.
Yeah. Oh, there definitely is other stations playing, like, or online doing it. But yeah, I think what mine's just has that added element where there's more to see. If you there's the app for it, but I'm sure loads of people have that. But if you go on, then you can go and find these artists in this one hub. So it's I hope that it becomes like a hub for emerging artists, where maybe people who are going to run a festival can go, well, do you know what? Over the West has all these artists that are kind of lesser known. Let's go have a look. And on the website, you can see in the artist family, it's a very nicely done, where you can just go, oh, I can just click, on their, let's just stream them on Spotify. It's a one-click kind of thing, so they can find them all in the one place. And hopefully I'll be like the Netflix for emerging artists. Isn't that like really good? Yeah. The big album is going to be released on the 29th, and it's called Make for Joy. Yeah. And I got to listen to it 3 times over the last couple of days, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Evelyn,
Thank you very much.
congratulations, and I can't wait for the world now to hear it and to see what the world's reaction will be. But Evelyn, tell me a wee bit about you.
I'm a blow-in. So, 2 days before lockdown, we were here in our holiday home on Beara Peninsula, and everything got locked down, and we were here, and we had this house for about 10 years, and we always said in 2020 we'll move to Ireland because we love it so much. It's like, this place is like paradise, except for the rain. But if there was no rain,
yeah, it wouldn't be paradise. Yeah.
People, so good. And so in lockdown, at some point I really forgot that I was a singer, because in the Netherlands I was touring with an acid jazz band all over the world, small jazz venues and jazz festivals, and I've been doing that for about 7 years. And traveling with 4 guys who are very guy-like in the kind of rock and roll, acid jazz rock and roll, and I was getting a bit fed up with it and getting tired of traveling. And then we were here in lockdown, and then we decided to stay. But like I said, I almost forgot that I was a singer. Until Henk Wiedel, who I knew him for years, and I sang on one of his albums. I did backing vocals, and I heard that he was recording with Declan. And so, you know how it goes on Facebook, you think everybody knows everything, but it's not true, because you only see a couple of people. Yeah. So I just sent him a message like, Henk, do you know we're here? I moved to Ireland. Oh, really? He said, I'm recording with Declan. I said, yes, I heard. Do you want to come and sing 2 songs? It was like the last 2 songs that he needed to be done. And that's how I met Declan.
That's fabulous. And then, so that was, as you called, the dark winter of 2020. Well, there was a lot of light then when this happened. So did you start like writing shortly after that, or what was the crack then?
We both recognised that the other person was a person of interest.
I knew that.
And Evelyn got a commission. Talk about that, Evelyn. You got a commission.
Yeah, because like I said, I almost forgot that I was a singer, because, luckily I've been working as a coach and a breathwork trainer for the IM Academy in the Netherlands. I started a year before lockdown just because it helped me a lot, and I just wanted to pass it on. And in the first week of lockdown, we were here, and we were lucky. We had great internet, and in that week, they launched their online program. That was like the first week of lockdown. It was ready. It was like, okay. And so suddenly they needed me, and I was doing a lot of breath work and meditations online and coaching. And at some point, I really forgot that I was a singer. And then they asked me, like, would you make a song for the IM Academy? And so I had this idea in my head, but I had no one to work with. So I literally put it out in the air, like, okay, the right person will come along. And so when I was in the studio recording for Henk, I was like, maybe Declan is the right person for this. And I just kept it open. But in that recording session, it just felt like, you know how it goes when you meet someone and it's just, okay.
Yeah, it just works. Yeah.
It works. And he asked me for my phone number. I didn't push myself. So Declan said, could I have your number? I really like your voice. And I just waited for a day, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm just going to ask him if he wants to do this commission with me. And I'm very glad that he said yes.
Definitely. Class. Yeah. And that song, though, that's in the Netherlands. That's not on this album, right?
It's on the album, actually.
Oh, it is on the album, yeah.
The Love Light.
I see that you said that 2 songs was written with Declan wrote with Owen O'Brien, 2 songs, and you told me I love Everything I See. And what was the other song?
Just like a child.
Just like a child. See that I love Everything I See. I love like the different rhythms in it. It's I really do. I really do love it, I have to say. I've played that a good few times, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Right, in Half the Moon. You say, Declan, that you don't do jazz, but you looked over the wall at this one, is it?
Yeah, well, I'm what would I say? I'm wary of I mean, jazz people, it's such a thing that you get steeped in. And I know a lot of music theory and all that. Like I've never studied music officially, but I know my chords and all the rest of it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a sophisticated enough musician. I just have never
Open that window, kid.
no, and it's a whole ball game. It's like being a classical musician. You can't, like, you could feasibly be a country musician while being a rock and roll musician, while being a folk musician. And I kind of, I've dabbled in all of those categories, but they're not quite as separate as jazz and classical music, say.
Of course.
I mean, it's almost like learning Indian music, where you'd need to study for 9 years before they'll even let you in the door, you know, kind of thing. So they're really serious disciplines.
Yes.
And so I would never claim to know much about jazz, but
well, it's absolutely
but
gorgeous.
The song is there's some Paul Simon influence in it.
I was going to say that, and I wouldn't be one to know a hell of a lot of art, but Paul Simon would have been a big influence of mine. And I was thinking today, and I was like, definitely, I found that in it.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the songs I wouldn't be able to name the influences, and some of them are just the way we are.
Yeah, but it was the chord progressions or something just reminded me of Paul Simon for sure.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, beautiful. You start the tour on March 1st.
Well, it's not really a tour.
It is a tour. Well, tell them it's a tour, Declan, because you're going to add on Donegal then. But I love the name of the place, Inchigila.
Inchigila, yeah.
Inchigila, near Macroom.
Yeah.
And then you're going then to Baltimore on the 15th of March in a church. And I like the part, the proceeds is going to the church roof too, part of them, right?
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Some of the proceeds.
So, well, not all the proceeds, yeah. A few of the slates on that roof will be good.
You'll be able to point out our slates.
But I hope you do come up here to Donegal. Like
I will have to.
Yeah, like imagine you in the theatre, in the Greenan Theatre, Declan. It would be just gorgeous.
Which theatre?
The Greenan Theatre in Letterkenny, or the RCC. We have a lot of different beautiful venues up here, or even the Ballard Theatre. Oh, sure, we'll get you in a load of places if you want. But I just want to tell you, your album is Album of the Week on Over the West Online Radio. So it'll be featured on all of the DJs will feature it in all of the live shows this week.
Well, I just said that we're really proud of it. I mean, we worked very hard on it. There's a guy stopped me. He had heard the album, and he'd heard the teasers and stuff for the album, and he stopped me and he said, he sings himself, and he said, the songs are really unusual. I don't know how to think about them. They're not obviously in a category.
No.
And I thought I really enjoyed it, and when I think about it, I think it may be true, and hopefully it's true, because it gives you a chance of being what would you call it, individual.
Yeah.
And being seen as individual.
And people can pre-order that now if they go to your website, evelynanddec.com. I love the artwork as well.
Oh, yeah, that's my friend from the Netherlands.
Yeah, Kipasa, is it?
Yeah, Kipasa Concepts. I've worked with her for years, and she's so creative, and and a bit chaotic as well.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and
she's really good. I really like the way she approached it, and I'm glad that Declan did as well, because of course we decide together like what we're gonna do, and Hey, and one thing about the album, which was really important for me when we started to work together, I said I really want to make an album that lifts the energy up, because there's so much drama going on, and people tend to dive into drama, and I used to love the big dramatic songs, but like the last couple of years, I noticed like I have the yeah, you can say mission, or that sounds a bit weird, but I just want to make things beautiful. And without being too, let's color everything pink, without that, it's just to lift people's hearts and make people feel good when they listen to it.
Yeah, it's uplifting, but it's really, really relaxing too. I find this is my wee, we'll call it my Maria's cave, we'll call it, but it's my wee studio. But it's a beautiful album. And I told you, I put it on a few times and I listened to it. It's very, very relaxing, and it's uplifting, and I know everybody is going to love it. I wanted maybe just a wee bit of background on that song. Who has coloured you blue? What is the background to that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, the song started with me. I was walking in Paradise here in Lorach, in the town where I live, and I was just looking around me and was like, I'm walking in a painting, and then I was like, this song lyric was like almost, how it sometimes goes, it's like almost pushing on your brain, like, knock knock.
Yeah. Let me in. I get you.
What if I create a song, something with colors, and then Who's Colored You Blue just came bloop. And what I do is just make a voice recording. So I was walking and singing along and trying to, and then going back and listening and adding things, and then I came to Declan with a little bit of the beginning and some scraps and things, and then we sit down together, and then that's when the real work begins, like what chords and how does it work, and I must say, like the best part is when the song is there, and this song has feeling and meaning, and it's us,
Yeah, just together, yeah.
Declan starts to build all the music around it.
And puts his magical dust on it.
Yeah, I always say magical dust, and then he said, no, it's true, it's really hard work. He works on it, and he sends me something, and I'll be like, wow, this is perfect. And he's like, nah, not yet.
Yeah, well, that's something Billy told me today about you, Declan. He says that you are a very perfectionist in your work, which is in a really good way. It's a good thing. But I love your story about how that line came to you, because I think for people who don't write songs, it may be hard for them to kind of understand that. But to me, sometimes you have no power over them. They'll come. These lines will come to you, and they won't leave you until you maybe put them to paper, make them into a song, and then I'll sit back then and I go, when the song is finished, and I go, well, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes it goes like that, and sometimes it's really work.
Yeah. You said that line. I did an interview with Jonathan Smeaton, who's another guy that has recorded with Billy, and that was one thing in our conversation. We're talking about songwriting, and I just says, isn't it, you just have to get out of your own way and sometimes allow yourself. And I'm teaching kids up here in Donegal now, or not teaching them, I'm facilitating songwriting workshops, and like that, I'm just telling you, look, if just let it out, let it go, don't be afraid, and just keep writing, as you say, get out of your own way. It's important.
There was an interview a number of years ago with Bob Dylan, but in his later, within the last 20 years, and the interviewer said, those songs like Rolling Stone and Mr. Tambourine Man and all this, can you still write like that? And Dylan paused for a long time, and he said, no. He said, I don't know where that came from.
Wow.
Class. Aye. I feel that about a lot of songs though that I've written now. I do be going, I don't even know.
Mostly what happens is like you have the first verse and the chorus, and then you're like, now what?
Yeah, where do we go from here?
Yeah. That's mostly the thing, is like then you have to puzzle a bit about, okay, so what am I going to say in the second part? Or
Yeah.
And you have to be careful. You're not just extending the length of it.
Just
you're actually doing something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I'd be not giving out, but my sister was writing a song during the week. It's her first time ever writing a song, but a friend of hers died at the weekend, and she just felt compelled, to write something, and it's beautiful. And then I was going, do you know what? Just don't put that line in there just so it rhymes. I don't like that. It has to be the truth or nothing, you know. Sometimes.
And you know the trick, if you get a good line and then you get a line that just rhymes with it, and it feels weak, so you swap the lines. Mm-hmm. So the good line is second.
Oh Jesus! I made that there. There's a wee trick there, but that the book.
You do that now. Oh my God!
Are you still writing? Are you still writing, or are you just now concentrating now on releasing this, or is there anything written?
We haven't written anything for a little while, and we probably need to go back soon, because apart from the idea of making a second record, we have to you stay alive by your invention, you know, by your creativity.
Yeah, but we've been so busy. It's like, and Declan's making all these beautiful videos, which takes a lot of time.
You make the videos too, Declan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into.
You have many feathers to your hat, huh?
Well, it's a related what you call it, craft, and some of the way that it works relates in just in the mechanics of it. It has similarities.
Okay.
But I got into. I made an album in 2011, a solo album, and then I decided to make a video for one of the tracks, and I spent 5 months doing nothing else really except learning to use a camera and learning to edit video, and ever since then I've had an interest in it, and it requires the same or similar sensibilities, you know, and particularly when you've been involved in making the track and making the song and whatever, then you're connected in, you know what you want to see.
I know, I've been delving into it a wee bit, but I'll tell you, I'm ridiculously bad at it. But I'm only starting. But you have to start and you have to learn. The next one hopefully will be better. But it is. I find it really, it's interesting, doing it.
I
have to ask you a question, Maria.
Aye.
Is that Willie Nelson's guitar behind you?
I know you'd think it's Trigger, but it's mine. I have that guitar since it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
All your own work?
All my own work, yeah. My brother bought it for me in Letterkenny when I was 16, and I actually found a picture of it only last week of when I got it new. But then I've got it signed by Christy Digman. I got to support him twice, so it's even more valuable now to have Christy's name on it. But yeah, that's the one that wrote the 2 albums there.
Wear and tear for you're doing radio. They don't see the guitar.
Yeah, do you know how you said, Evelyn, you forget that you sing? Well, since I've been concentrating on this here, I do forget that I actually sing too. But I have it sitting out now. I have 2 wee girls under the age of 2, so they're starting to fitter at ukuleles and stuff lying about the place. I think it's good too, because my mammy did that with us. There was always just instruments kind of lying about, and you were free to be. It's a real Donegal word, footer at them.
What's the word?
Footer.
Footer, oh, that's more than Donegal.
Is it, It'll be used for different reasons now. It wouldn't be just for instruments.
No, but footer, you'd be footering around.
Yeah. Come here, I better let you go though. Yes, I've taken up most of your evening, but I'm delighted I had the opportunity to talk to us before your release on Friday. And again, it's album of the week here, and we'll play the hell out of it here.
Great.
Oh, it was lovely to talk to you, Maria.
Thank you so much.